What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play RollerCoaster Tycoon with me, Dr.DDub. Last episode, I mentioned I wanted to cover, or at least before this episode, I would take a look at... I would do a little bit of research on my own and figure out what exactly park value consisted of. And I consulted a couple forums, and I think I have a not concrete answer, but a better idea of what it is than I last did. And so hopefully that will help you guys out. And myself. Let's go ahead and repay this loan so we're not incurring any interest. You can see it already went down for the month of July. That is awesome. Anyway, okay, so park value is consisted of a couple things. Basically, the easiest way to think of it is if someone were to, some executive CEO type were to walk into my park and offer me money for it, how much would he pay to buy out my park from me? That's kind of how you want to look at park value. So a lot of things go into that. The biggest ones are your guest count. Well, not actually your guest count, but the more guests you have, that definitely affects your park rating because there's more people giving their positive opinions about the park, which helps your park rating. But your park rating, that is a big factor. If you think about, if you've ever taken any marketing classes or you know anything about a brand, or even if you don't, hopefully this makes sense. When, let's say I want to buy Nike, for example. Nike has, in most people's eyes, a good reputation. You're not just buying the products or the services that Nike provides. You're buying the goodwill of the company, the good nature, the reputation of it. So if, I could easily, get those same products elsewhere, but you have all this customer loyalty towards that brand, and that increases the company value of Nike, the same way it would for this park. It's not just any theme park that you could buy. Sure, you could buy another theme park, but if all of my guests are very much a fan of this park, and therefore I have a good park rating, that is part of what they're purchasing. The guests' goodwill and positive opinions of this park. It's probably not that intensive. That is just, I took a marketing class in college, and that's kind of what I remember from it. So I'm applying that concept here. I think that plays a role. At least that's what the forums were saying, and that's my way of interpreting that information. The other thing is the rides themselves. And so just like with anything, the newer it is, the more, I wouldn't say the more it's worth, but in this case, that's the case. If you build a ride, let's say I built a brand new steel mini coaster. If I build it right now, it's going to add a lot of value to my park. Over time, that ride is going to depreciate in value as it gets older. If I were to build that same exact ride in right before our objective ended, so right in, let's say I built it mid-October of year 3, and it ends October at the end of October year 3. If I built that same exact ride just much closer to the end, it would add a lot more value to the park than it does currently, or than it would if I built it now and let it depreciate till that point. So, a combination of basically continually building new rides and having a good park rating, which can also be affected. I almost combined affected and influenced, which can also be affected / influenced, there we go, by the number of guests in your park. So basically everything we had been doing already. We want a lot of guests in our park. We want a good park rating just because that's a indicator that our guests are happy. And, I don't want to bore you guys. I might, but I don't ever intend on doing that. We're going to constantly build new rides. So hopefully that should be very easy to achieve. You can see it's gone up, and it just went up right then. This has gone up, 300 since we last looked at it? And I'm just assuming that's because of our park rating. It's slowly going up. I don't remember what it was last time we checked, but that is a little higher than it was. I know it just dropped a little there. But anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a better breakdown of what park rating actually does. So, one other thing I wanted to do is, let's put it right here. No, not backwards. We'll place it this way. I wanted to give this area its own little name. I know last episode I mentioned that this area was going to be kind of our thrill ride section, but why limit it to thrill rides? We also mentioned that this area was kind of our basic rides. So I'm going to go out on a limb and probably, some might say, go on a tangent. And we're going to give this area some life, some culture. This is going to be our basic pier. It's kind of pier-like, sort of. It's a little elevated. It's not on the water, but this part is. That's more of a bridge than a pier. Anyway, this is our basic pier. And what is this? How do you change the... Oh, this is... Okay, cool. You can change the color of it. Let's turn around so we can actually see that. I don't know if I've ever played with this. Basic pier. And then I can change the banner color too. Oh, sweet. What does white look like? I like that. We'll do that. White actually doesn't look white. It looks kind of turquoise-ish, but okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's get labels on all of this. So we'll do another one right here. What did we do? Blue text and white banner, even though it looks white from the back, but not from the front. Basic Pier, and that is 2 of 3. We need one more to finalize our basicness. It looks like that tile right there. I know you guys can't really see it. I can't really see it myself either. It looks like the supports or the railing starts on this side right there. So we'll bring it back one tile so it lines up right at the start of that pier portion. And we will basicify it. I almost typed basicify pier. That would be kind of interesting. But we're not doing that. So, basic pier. Let me close out all this. Welcome to our partially finished basic pier. So, let's make it more basic. What do we have? Not much more. Oh, okay, we'll do this. Let's build a boat hire. If you guys remembered, actually, no, we're gonna do something before we do that. So, with the land tool, another little tutorial segment here. With the land tool, I have expanded it before to, clean up grass and to modify larger segments, stuff like that. I've also minimized it to go back down to a one tile adjustment. One thing I haven't done though, is you can actually make it smaller. You can't make it any smaller than that, but you can see that it creates this little effect around that single tile. What this does is it will modify the tiles adjacent to the one you are modifying to keep it beautiful looking. It's kind of expensive. That cost me $160 instead of, what does it normally cost? 20. So that was an 8-fold cost, but I also modified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles, which would normally cost me 120. And then these tiles right here, I would have had to modify twice, one for each corner, same for here, same for here. And so that's where you get the 120 plus 20, 140, 160, 180. That's where you get the cost for that. If that didn't make any sense, sorry, it doesn't really matter. Not that it doesn't matter to you guys, what I was saying, doesn't really matter. And it looks like I can do this every other tile because this is going to raise these two corners to be level with this, which will level out that block. And that's what I'm wanting to do. So we're going to just continue across here, making our little land bridge. And if you guys are wondering at all why I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to show you rather than tell you. So that is it. Doesn't look so great from above, but that's okay. It looks better when you can do this, where you can see the contour of the land, but that's okay. If I were to raise it again, I believe it would modify one tile further. So it would keep that general shape, but it would just get really, really expensive. So I'm not going to do that because we do have money. But we are going to be building some rides or some coasters soon, and that's going to cost us some money. So we're going to try to be conservative. Where do I want to put this thing? How about right here is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure. And we'll do an entrance. Oh, I forget. Why am I trying to build it right there? Entrance right here. Exit right here. Okay. Let's get some pathways going to that. Yeah, we'll go up here, just like we have been doing. I think it looks more natural not having things right on the ground, or not on the ground, on the water. You can see the supports underneath, so it is realistic, technically, but it's harder to see than these supports, which I think, I don't know, if you're just scanning the park, it looks like that's floating, which I'm not a fan of. Ooh, we got a Ferris wheel. Normally, that wouldn't be exciting, but now that we have our basic park, basic things like a Ferris wheel are exciting. And I'm not even messing around. I'm actually kind of excited that we just got a Ferris wheel. You won't hear that come out of my mouth too often, but let's give this thing a paint job and a name before we open it. Those boats look hideous. So this color scheme is actually affecting the track that we don't have, or I guess the guides for the boats. So we're not gonna bother with that thing. What does this look like? Ooh, I like that. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I meant to do 8. No, 9's fine. Not that it matters. We're gonna actually paint this thing a little bit. We'll see. No, main color scheme, that's fine. So this, it allows you to, I've mentioned this earlier, but I don't think we've actually done it yet. So this allows us to paint different segments of our ride. Nope, not that. That one. Actually, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Can we just alternate every other? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll alternate. That looks good. And then we'll go back to the alternative color scheme 1, change that one, and now we have an alternate color painted station here. And then what did we name this thing? Serpent Lake. I actually want to rename this thing to something other than this, because I want to kind of name the lake Serpent Lake. Serpent Lake swinging. No, just swing. Serpent Lake swing. A little bit more of a swing, or a little bit more of a ship than a swing, but you know, it still swings, so it's not totally inaccurate. So now that this lake is Serpent Lake, not that it actually has a name, but I'm going to roleplay a little. It is now Serpent Lake. Welcome to Serpent Lake, guys. Basic pier on Serpent Lake. The view is beautiful. Not really, but we're gonna get it there eventually. All in the same colors, that's fine. And I want this to actually look like a wooden boat, not like a white boat with green seats. So we'll just do brown everything. I think that looks good. It's a wooden boat after all. Dollar, we'll do $1.50. I don't know how exciting this is, seeing as how everyone's gonna have a different experience, see different stuff, and go to different parts of the lake here. What else? Inspect every 10, not 30 again, every 10. And this thing needs a name. We'll go ahead and open it first. But this will be, we're gonna play off the Serpent Lake thing, because this is definitely on the lake. Serpentine, no, yeah, Serpentine swimmer, because they're not going to get much closer to swimming in the water than paddling their own boat. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I would pay money to row my own boat on a lake. At least at an amusement park. I would if I were going out to a lake in like another city or something and wanted to, you know, enjoy the lake. But here, No, I definitely would not. So $2.20 I can do. I'm going to stick with 150. I think that's okay. How do I already have 96 customers per hour? That must be just an estimate. Because I definitely don't even have... What did we have? Eight boats? Not cars? 9 boats? I don't know. That's 9 times 2, 18. At most, we have 18 people on this. And okay, so yeah, that's definitely an estimate. This area is kind of gross. Let's hire another handyman just for here. I don't think I'll reassign my current handyman different spots. Just because this park is pretty big as far as walkways go. And I think it's okay to have them kind of everywhere. For my handyman, at least. For my mechanics, that's a different story, and I will cover that just in 1 second once I get this guy taken care of. We're actually going to name this guy. Basic Bob, the handyman. Oh, look at him emptying the litter bin on the basic pier. How basic of you, Basic Bob. Thank you, sir. Okay, so what I said I was going to explain next. I had a question from one of you guys about why I give my mechanics walkways, or I guess, what is it actually called? Footpaths? Patrol areas? Why I give them specific patrol areas. I try to assign them at least one ride, or an area of rides. Is it Mechanic 7 that's in charge of this area? Yes, it is. So I'm going to have him extend right here, cover that. I think that covered it. There we go. Okay, he was already covering it anyway. We've got Basic Bob, the handyman, and Basic Bill, the mechanic. If any of you are named Bob and Bill and you take offense to that, my apologies. I mean it in the nicest way possible. Anyway, so the reason I give my mechanics specific footpaths is that if I were to let them just wander all over the place, which is what one of my subscribers was asking about, if I let them wander anywhere, it's unlikely, but there is always a chance that every single one of them could end up in one portion of my park at the same time. Again, it's unlikely, but the option is there. If that happens, and let's say Miners Mix-Up breaks down on the complete opposite side, we're going to be getting those red complaint messages that I realize you guys can't really read very well because they're in that red text, which for whatever reason is illegible. We're going to be getting that message popping up because it is so far away. If that's the case, our park rating is going to go down. And on this objective, where... Oh, please don't say that guy just got stuck. Okay, good. I didn't mean to build a swinging ship. What am I doing? Yeah, that's fine. I meant to build this. On this objective, where our goal is to get a good park value, which, as we discussed in the very beginning, is dependent on our park rating, or at least partially. I don't want to have, those negative complaints popping up. And I know it's not just this park that I'm doing that on. It's all of them so far that I've done it on. But to me, that... We're going to extend this so we don't demolish any benches or light poles here, because those are so important. To me, that is important. I don't want to negatively influence our park rating by having those messages. And so by assigning my mechanics either one specific exit, which I know I said early on, I try to do that. I forget a lot, guys. It's going to happen. That's part of the difficulty of recording while talking at the same time. I forget things, and my trains of thought aren't always full trains. They go off the tracks and crash in a million different directions. I know I took that metaphor a little far there. But anyway, I like my mechanics having one specific ride or one specific area to cover because it guarantees that they will always be in close proximity to that ride if it breaks down. And typically, 99 times out of 100, when a ride breaks down, the closest mechanic is the one that will be called. So, that is my reasoning for that. I hope that explained it. If it didn't, comment down below and I will address your comment personally and give you a further, more coherent description or reasoning. We're going to name all this stuff kind of serpent based. Serpent spinner. I like it. And let's paint this baby up. We're going to do it kind of blues and greens, I'm feeling. I like it. Is it going to be too bright like it is on everything else? No, I actually think that's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's try one of these. What is... So that's like a lighter teal. I'm not crazy about that. Ooh, but that I do like. That okay, so that's more of a light blue. These kind of look pretty similar. I don't know if they do to you guys, but to me they look pretty close. So we'll do that. Oh my goodness, it's already October. It's about halfway through October. Okay. Inspect every 10. Let's make sure. Bill, I think is his name. Basic Bill. Are you covering this area? No, you're not, but now you are. Thank you, Bill. Every 10. $1.10, that's fine. Okay, that should be good on that. Did I adjust the, yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, I don't want to just sit here and talk for the next 13 days, or 14 days. Do we have anything else we can build? No, not right now. I might end up doing that. One thing I realized we forgot to do is check this from normal to maximum. I want to get more stuff. I want all the stuff. Especially in the parks that we have 3-4 years to work on. Getting more stuff is... I'm all about it. We're going to go ahead and start putting some footpaths down on this area. I feel like we could expand this out to do something kind of on this little island. Because our whole park is sort of island-based. We've got... Wait a second. No, it's not. For whatever reason, I was under the impression that our park was divided up into islands. I thought we had one island here, one island here, one island here, and our last island here. That's not the case at all. We have... They're not even islands, but we have one giant landmass here and another one here. So it's all connected. So never mind on that idea. Scratch that. I'm wrong. Again. But we did just get a hedge maze. So let's build that. That'll be kind of fun. And a hedge maze, in my opinion, is kind of basic. So it's gonna get put here on basic Pier. Let's go right here, and before all these trees get in my way, because I know they're going to, let's do invisible scenery, if I can even find it. There we go. And if I remember, the entrance, which I plan on putting up against this face right here, will demolish these 2 blocks. So we will leave those filled, I guess, because they're going to get filled up anyway by ride. Or by entrance demolishing it. I know I'm going to run into a tree here at some point, and it's going to... Yep. I was going to say, and it's going to frustrate me, but it's not. It's okay. We'll go down here. We'll backtrack a little. Kind of do a T shape here. Split that up. I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. But then again, when do I ever... we will just make that end right there. I don't want to make this too crazy long because guests are awful at solving these things. That sounds so sad every time it breaks down. Doesn't matter what ride it is. Actually, yes it does. When that merry-go-round music is playing and it dies, there couldn't be a sadder sound in the world. It is just... It's just sad. It's so sad. We're going to connect this up actually right here. Which makes this exit, or this little outcropping, you've got to be not the brightest to turn in there. But I guarantee you, people are going to do it, so... But yeah, when that Ferris wheel, again, I screwed up. When that merry-go-round dies, it's sad. Another tree in my way. Get out of my way, tree. Can we connect this all over here? Is there stuff in my way? No, there's not. Awesome. We're going to make this a nice little spiral right here. I like it. And I'm loving this tree in the middle. You can't really see it right now, but give me a second and you'll be able to. Entrance there. With the exit. Right. No, we won't. There's a tree in my way. There's a tree in my way either place. So we'll just demolish that one. Nope. I demolished the wrong tree. Oh, well. Okay. Oh, man. We're in March. Okay. We got to wrap this up. Okay. So that looks good. No, that does not look good. That didn't connect. Invisible scenery again. Look at me go, guys. I found that so much quicker. So this needs fixing real quick. So apparently it only demolishes the first two tiles there. So we will connect it. And now that that's not being used at all, we'll give that a little intersection so it's actually utilized. Okay. That should be good. Let's get some walkways and queues going. Going places fast. Sure. Goodbye bench. And then out of the exit here. All right. Basic Pier has its newest member, Maze 1. Let's go. I'm going to hope I made this at least a 1.5 excitement rating. I guess we'll find out soon. Up the max people on the ride to 16. Check it every 10. Put it in maze mode. I don't know what else could be here. Or what other modes other than maze mode you could do for a maze. 1.76, 1.5. That is a very boring maze, but, you know, I built it, so what else do you expect, right? Totally kidding. Kind of, sort of. Not really, though. Let's give this thing name and wrap this year up, because we're already in March. Not wrap this year up. Wrap this episode up. If we were to wrap this year up, that would take forever. I do like that tree in the middle, right about there. Did the merry-go-round just break down again? Ring around the tree. The merry-go-round got in my head, and that's what caused that to happen. So, ring around the tree. That's a thing now. We'll see how good people are at navigating it. We'll paint it real quick. Oh, wait. What the heck? I don't think I knew you could do this. That's awesome. That doesn't look like a fence at all. That looks like hay bales stacked in rows. We're going to stick with hedges, though, because it's in the forest. There's a tree. That's kind of what it's named around. But yeah, guys, I think that does it. I think. Is there anything else I needed to do? I need to make sure there's a mechanic here before I forget. Basic Bill, you got an even bigger job. Actually, no. I'm going to give this to not so basic. This guy. Mechanic 1. No, he's got a huge path. Whatever. He can cover this too. I'll fix that later. I wanted to get the guy who was assigned just for this ride to take care of it, but oh well. Okay, guys, I need to end this episode. It's getting kind of long. We're already halfway through March. Shame on me. But that's going to do it for this episode. We've got our basic rides built up here on Basic Pier. That's very basic of me to do that, but basically, that's going to do it for this episode. So, oh man, I'm slightly embarrassed for that joke. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. Enjoy the basicness of our park. See you guys next time.